Welcome to the Mind Myself podcast. I'm Esther, and it is my pleasure to be bringing you information about healthcare approaches, health issues, and people's health journey stories, all from the complementary, holistic, and integrative perspectives, helping you become your own best health advocate and helping you make your own informed choices because you matter. Welcome to the Mind Myself podcast, Conversations with E. I am thrilled to have our guest today, Sherien Hossny, and she's going to be talking about love your liver. Welcome, Sherien.
Thank you so much for having me. Welcome. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit just about your credentials and why you do what you do.
I am a holistic nutritionist, a yoga teacher, and a movement enthusiast. I teach yoga, Pilates. I did a lot of energy healing, personal training, and of course, I moved to Canada to study with the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition after a personal journey with liver disease that took quite a long time to diagnose to begin with. It started with just bloating, constipation, some digestive issues, and later some skin issues. And after that, I was diagnosed with fibrosis, and a couple of years later with early stage cirrhosis or F4. And it took me quite some time. It took me 7 years to heal and move from that to a healthy, functioning liver. And that's why I decided to pursue this further, study nutrition. I moved here, and my mission is to help those in their journey to heal with the right information and to maybe help them cut that time so it doesn't take 7 years. And I know how daunting and isolating that can be when you're like, you get that diagnosed and you're left with, you should live healthy and lose some weight. That doesn't really help much.
No, well, what a journey. And I suspect that our liver has been one of our most neglected topics of conversation in terms of health over the last decades. And so I'm thrilled that you're actually bringing it forward to the table. And because of your own personal journey with healing your liver condition, I think that lends even more, I'll call it, import to the conversation. So tell us a little bit, what is the liver and what does it do?
The liver is like, it's your biological dynamo. It's the largest internal organ in the body, and it works around the clock to keep us healthy and to keep us alive. It's your factory. So, and it has over 500 metabolic function in the body, so we don't have time to go through all of them, but I'll take just snippets. So it aids in digestion and metabolism of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. It regulates and balances hormones, regulates and balances blood sugar. It's the main detoxification organ. So anything that you're exposed to gets filtered through the liver. So if you think about it, like environmental toxin, things that we smell or breathe, your skincare rituals, your choice of what cream to put on your body, obviously what you ingest, the food, anything that comes in, microbes or whatever, that gets filtered through the liver. It stores important vitamins, vitamin D, vitamin E, K, B12. These are all stored in the liver, and iron. This is just some like snippets, small things of what the liver does in terms of production, hormones, vitamins. It also has a big role in immune system.
In our immune system.
Just like small things, just as a snippet.
Yes, I'm sure we could go deeper into.
We can go on and on and on, but
yes,
like,
exactly.
We don't need to do that. It's an important thing.
Yeah, it's a really important organ.
Yeah.
And what is a sluggish liver, or how do we know that something is going on with our liver?
So a sluggish liver is is a broad term that refers to a poor functioning liver. So that's when your liver is overloaded with toxins that it cannot perform its functions properly. Your liver and gallbladder are not working at their best. And there is a lot of like signs to tell, but the problem is they can be mistaken for a lot of different other things. So signs that you're struggling with a sluggish liver can be anything from bloating, constipation, or going between bouts of constipation and diarrhea, so not a regular bowel movement, skin issues, acne, eczema, rashes, your skin starts breaking down, fatigue, constant fatigue, some disturbances in your sleep, some mental things like mood swings, depression, the hormonal like fluctuation. These are all early signs that your liver is not doing well. Excessive sweating, bad breath, changes in your body odor. These are early signs that your liver is overloaded and it's not functioning properly. And then there are late signs that we never want to see, but like the nausea and vomiting, sensitivity to alcohol and fatty food. It's like you eat something that's like with a little bit of fat, or you have a croissant and then like you immediately feel the effects of it. Yellowing of the skin, or they call jaundice. These are late signs of liver disease that we don't want to see.
Right. Yes. So we can look at the early signs and maybe be proactive. It strikes me that some of the signs that you've said are early detection signs of liver problems sound an awful lot like perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause symptoms. So what should women, as they're approaching their 40s, in their 40s and beyond, be thinking about in terms of not just menopause, but liver?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And this is the thing with liver disease and why it takes so long to diagnose, is that a lot of the symptoms can be confused with many other things. So as you said, women as they're approaching their 40s and their 50s, it could be sign of like menopause. So I think the first thing to do is like really tuning in and listening to your body, and get tested, get like diagnosed, see your medical professional, and like find out like, is this a sign of, is this just the signs of menopause, or is there something else that's going on? There is a lot of things that we can do so that we can find this and eliminate this possibility of something going on with your liver or something else that's going on, and then think of the other. Because like when you're fatigued, people are like, oh, I'm just tired. Like, this is just like, I'm getting old, so I'm just like, I feel tired all the time. No, that's not okay. You're not just,
So if someone's experiencing any of those symptoms and they go to see their medical doctor, what kinds of tests should they ask for, or what kinds of questions should they be asking their doctor or other medical practitioner?
So the doctor, the medical practitioner would obviously do like one of the first things that they would do if somebody's suspected for that is doing a liver enzyme test, and they'll see if like there's any elevation. That is a telltale sign that something is not going on, something is going on with your liver. Another thing that's very common is ultrasound. So doing an ultrasound on the liver and finding this out. That's the basic two things that a medical or like doctor would do. If you're going to any other practitioners, there's going to be a lot of like questions to figure out and eliminate what's going on, eliminate other possibilities.
Great. And let's go back to your conversation around tuning into your body. If you're wanting to learn to listen to your liver, what kinds of things should you be paying attention to in your body? I know you've talked about some symptoms, but what specifically for someone who's never thought about their liver, said, oh, maybe that's my liver. What should they be thinking about, looking about, feeling, going inside about?
Yeah, so very good question. With the liver, the symptoms it can be anything, like a lot of other things. And that's the biggest issue. What I would say is, one of the biggest things is irritability when it comes to like mental things. Feel like the smallest things just gets you like annoyed, really annoyed very quickly. that's a sign your liver is not functioning properly. Depression and mood swings, like these are like telltale sign. If this is not the normal you, then you need to get checked and eliminate the possibility of something going on with your liver. And a lot of people would go, so with depression, for example, like iron level dropping can be some of the things that will affect your depression. But it's also, if you can't keep your iron, that might be something going on with your liver, because the liver stores the iron, right? And another thing that people would confuse is, when it comes to mental things, is thyroid. But the liver would convert your T4 to T3 to be active. So you see how it is, it's always going back to the liver.
Right. And so
sorry to interrupt. Another thing is what's going on with the stomach. So poor digestive functions is a telltale sign that something is going on there. And when you're addressing the liver, you automatically address your digestion and your gut health. If you're not absorbing your nutrient properly, if you're always bloated, if you have extra gas, which is like, because everybody, you know your body, right? You know what's common and what's normal to you, and you know when things change. So if you're tuning in and you're listening, you would know when things change. Chronic constipation, or going from constipated to diarrhea without any other reason. So it's not like when you go see your medical practitioner, they will then remove like food sensitivities and so on and address the gut health. And that would help address the liver, because an overburdened digestive system puts a lot of burden on the liver, so it doesn't do the rest of the functions properly, because it's very busy fixing all what's going on with your digestion.
Got it. So what about the liver and hormones? You mentioned thyroid, which I know is one of our hormones.
Yeah.
What about the liver? What about the liver and just the thyroid or endocrine system? How does that work together?
So one of the big and very important functions of the liver is regulating and balancing the hormones. And it's also the main excretory system for your hormones. So think of it like once the hormones are like released in the body, so the liver would do a lot of things like turning T4 to T3 and so on. It also regulates like insulin and blood sugar level. And once the hormones have done their job in the body, the liver then would take the byproduct of this metabolic action and the excess of hormone and excrete them out of the body. So if the liver is not functioning properly, you get things like estrogen dominance, you get blood sugar imbalance, you get thyroid issues, and so on.
Such a good thing to be aware of.
Yeah, and it
works. Yeah. And what do you think of liver cleanses?
So I am not a fan of like there's no scientific proof that these things like really work, and in some cases they can actually make more damage and put more burden on the liver, and especially things that use like a lot of like herbs. A herb can be good for some person, but might not work for you. And there is, as I was like, one of the times I was searching, and there was an interesting fact I found at the Johns Hopkins. 20% of liver injuries in the US are caused by herbs. So your liver, if you're doing like, if it's working properly, it's already detoxifying 24/7. You don't need to do a liver cleanse, especially the juice cleanses.
So which cleanses?
The juice cleanses.
Oh, juice cleanses. Got it.
Yeah. And like the things that promise you to lose weight really fast. The liver, when the toxins, can get stored in our adipose, our fat cells, and things that make you like lose weight really fast in those juice cleanses. It can sometimes release toxins like in a way that the liver is not able to get rid of them and help your body get rid of them, and that would make huge burden on the liver. And if they get released to your blood, it causes things like brain fog, and a whole lot of other things. There's no short-term solutions. It's not, if your liver is not functioning properly, that didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen over 3 days or 1 week or 1 month. It happened over years of basically something that's not going on right. And then the liver got overburdened. So to help your liver, to support your liver and help detoxify, you need to change habits, and it takes time. Short liver cleanses, 3-day detox, like, no. I'm not a fan of that. It might work for some people, might like, I have all the respects for that, but it's not my strategy.
That's not your approach. So what happens if we don't pay attention to our liver and give it some love?
That's like the kind of like the scary part, I would say. So the liver disease has been on the rise worldwide. If we're not paying attention to our liver, a lot of other what we call metabolic syndromes would happen. So things like diabetes, chronic kidney disease, high cholesterol, all these things can happen when your liver is not functioning properly. And here's an interesting fact or finding recently. Any dysfunction on the body, any disease from PMS, depression, cancer, cholesterol, or heart disease, scientists found that the liver is somehow involved. So let that sink in. That's what happens if you don't pay attention and give your liver some love. The statistics in how this is going is quite scary. There is, you have 25% of Americans have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and that's one type of liver disease. That's a leading cause for cirrhosis and for end-stage liver disease. And these numbers have, for example, a country like the UK, since the 70s, the rates of liver disease have increased by 400 folds. So that's what happens.
Right. So it's very much something we need to be thinking about and paying attention to. So as we wrap up our conversation, I know you're not a fan of liver cleanses or quick fixes. Mm-hmm. What can you leave us with? How do we be proactive? You said pay attention and look inward in our body, but how do we be proactive about taking care of our liver?
I love that you just used the word proactive. And that's exactly what you need to do. You don't wait until your skin starts going yellow and you start having pain in the right side. You always I'd say it again and again and again. Pay attention to what's going on to your body. Listen to what your body starts trying to tell you, because our body is always giving us signs. It's always trying to tell us what's going on, but we're not listening. We're so busy with a lot of other things. So, and there is a lot that we can do. One of the things is obviously get tested. If you have something, go check with your healthcare practitioner, your doctors, to get the test that's needed. And the liver disease is one of the things that's overindulgence. Like a lot of first world countries have higher numbers of liver disease. So that's avoid alcohol, smoking, fast food, junk food, processed food. Reduce your toxic load in general. Another thing is getting vaccinated for things like hepatitis B. If you're not vaccinated already, and this is something the doctors can tell you, they can do a test and find out if you have been vaccinated or not. I know that for example, now in BC, the infant gets vaccinated in 2 months or something for hepatitis B, but that was not the practice maybe a decade or two ago. So it depends on your age and where do you live. Make sure that you have been vaccinated for hepatitis B. It's one of the most dangerous things. Manage stress. Stress is another thing that really create havoc in the whole body. Drinking water regularly, practicing safe sex. If you're having sex with multiple partners, always practice safe sex to avoid, obviously, any infections. And yeah, take care of your body.
Good words to live by. Good words to live by.
Yeah.
Always take care of your body. Pay attention, listen, breathe, and do healthy things.
Yeah.
So Sherien's information will be either in her practitioner profile or in the notes associated with this podcast. So thank you so much for being with us today, Sherien, and all the great information you gave us about loving our liver.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us at the Mind Myself podcast today. We know that time is precious and you've spent some of your valuable time with us. We're grateful. If you would like to reach out to our guest directly, the information is below. And if you would like more from Mind Myself, that information is also below. Please visit our website and check out all the information about the different complementary, holistic, and integrative healthcare approaches, information about health issues, more podcasts, tons of blogs, and we even have a community page for you where you could reach out and tell your story safely, or you could ask questions and perhaps somebody else in the world is going through something similar to you. In any case, we're so glad you're with us, and we're doing this because you matter.